My biggest fear was that I would just bomb out with not a thing to say, and it would not work.
I had an opportunity a number of years ago to be on a radio show, and I felt like I really blew it. I just felt that I stumbled all over the place, and I couldn't have a complete thought, and then some of the questions, trying to help them with the kind of questions they were asking, and they really didn't know as much, about the topic. So I had some anxiety over that experience, which was many years ago.
Like I did one video before, and basically we did the scripts, and I had to memorize it, and it came out kind of stiff.
I don't know if I've ever officially been in front of a camera, and you were right when you said that you forget about it. I forgot about it. We were just having a good conversation about dentistry, and that's a topic I love to talk about.
I think you were just great because you made me feel so comfortable, and if I wasn't getting where I wanted, you had a very great natural way of making me understand you're on the right track, and you were able to ask the right questions where I was able to get out of me what I wanted to say, but I know how to say it.
As you know, I have done some TV, and I've done, well, I wouldn't say a lot, but I've started doing TV. And the guys that I work with locally always make me feel comfortable, but it's still it can get a little bit where I get a little wound up and I'm not myself. And you've totally put me at ease, so I feel very, very relaxed. And I've been able to communicate well and be myself, which I know whenever I'm relaxed, I can communicate very well. And when I'm with my patients, I can speak in this manner, but there's been some times, as you know, flew out to California last year, and I was a mess because of there were bright lights, and it was just a lot. I felt fine until I actually got on the set, but once I was on the set, I was sweating, and they were cutting and snapping and dabbing me, and makeup. They were yelling for makeup, and it was just really, really unnerving. And then I felt like it really came through on the video later. So I would say that just the fact that I'm in a more comfortable environment, and then I just feel like I'm carrying on a conversation with you, has been a very different experience.
I like this a lot better because I'm talking to you instead of talking to a camera, because it's very distracting to looking at this lens. Like, I'm not used to it, right? I mean, I can talk to people easy, but in a camera is more difficult to do.
A little bit of a shock with all of it, but you warned us in the video, about that. And once I sat down here, you made me feel very comfortable.
For me, talking to you was more comfortable than looking into the camera. I would get like blurry. I'd be like, which one am I looking at, and what's behind that camera? And speaking to you, I think is a lot easier.
It was like I was just talking to you. I didn't sense that the camera was even really there after about 30 seconds.
The state of mind that I had when I came in, there was a nervousness that I had as I walked in. Luckily, I felt you very comfortable to talk to be with, and whatever. So I felt, I felt that I can, be myself and whatnot. And also that the questions were everyday stuff that I'd have to deal with.
And for most dentists, right, this is what we do. You're in a chair, I'm in a chair, and we're having this exact conversation. We don't look at that. We don't read off a script. I thought, I was more worried, so I thought, well, I better write down what it is I normally say. Well, that's a good process, made me feel a little bit better about things. It kind of lets you look at it and say, oh no, I really wanted to talk about this with insurance, or that with implants, or Larry said use Rejuvenate, so write the word down. So that's good, but to actually have it scripted or read off a script, that would have been like a train wreck. And looking at the cameras, you're right, just would not be a comfortable thing.
It's almost like I'm doing a big case presentation. I'm asking I'm getting lots of questions. Usually I don't. Usually I'm the one who controls it and it basically gives information. And there's a few questions in there, but sometimes, I do get those questions, and then I give the answer. So I'm not quite as relaxed as I am during a case presentation, but it's the same kind of feel. The whole conversation approach is really helpful for me.
Yeah. From what I saw this morning, I'm sure it's going to be exceptional. And I'm glad you actually, take the time to set this up, because you had the option to just keep selling videos like you did last year. Yeah. And I think I would have never got this thing done.
You're very good at guiding the conversation with your goal in mind as a marketer, right? How to take a snip from this and take a snip from that and tie them together. I mean, that's art in itself. And the way you steer the conversation, I think, is really helpful.
Honestly, a lot of it just felt like we were at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I mean, if you were just kind of laying down a little bit more and I wasn't wearing this gear, it would have just been,
It would have been
if you
right
had a
home.
drill going in the background, it just would have been work, you know, really.
By far, every month, when the amount of time that somebody spends on my website, I look at the pages and then how much time they spend on each page. And it's always double the amount of time of any other page is Meet the Doctor. The button where they click on the navigation bar, Meet the Doctor, people are always twice as much time there. I mean, you know, people spend 2, 3, 4 minutes there, and then on the other areas of the website, it might be 20, 30 seconds. But the second, and this is interesting too, is the second place that people spend the most time is Meet the Staff.
I see a lot of videos starting to come onto the internet, but I don't see any good dental video on the internet. And I believe strongly that that's something that you can, is time to jump into. So I just thought I have to do this, and as I was thinking that, this happened, and it was just meshed. It was the right person at the right time, and the right guy came along, and bam, I had to jump on it.
When I see the edited version of it, I'll probably feel even happier because I'll say, oh yeah, these are the points that I wanted him to get, and here they are all chopped up and all together, and then he's put them together kind of in a nice fashion. So, you know, I've said most of the things that I really say on a regular basis to my patients, so it's kind of, it's comfortable, it's natural, and it's great that, you know, you don't have to say this thing 10,000 times. If it can be recorded and people can watch it, then you're not having to like kind of repeat this again and again and again.
You just need to commit to it, and unfortunately, you just get caught up. And sometimes it's also fear of change. Talking to my wife, sometimes it's, you know, you're not scared, or I think for me it's more a perception of I hate failing and I don't like to fail. So you're scared sometimes to do something new because you don't want to fail. So it holds you back. And the only reason I got this is because it's going to be done professionally, and I'm sure it's really great. And I'm convinced it'll look great.